Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Thursday, June 9th, 2011 is brought to you by Realtic. All right, folks, let's get right into the mix here. The markets are having a nice rally today on the back of a little bit of a gap up in the dollar, which in general, you would think a higher dollar is going to cause a drop in the markets, but that's not the case. And let me explain this very quickly. Let me show you the dollar chart right now. If you look at the UUP, which is the ETF that tracks the dollar, you can clearly see the dollar gapped up today, but has since then fallen down. Now, this is something very important to understand. The dollar pre-market and overnight does not have as much of an influence on the markets as during market hours. And I explain this in an intraday basis, showing you guys or discussing how you have black box trading programs. Black box trading programs are set to trade during market hours inverse to the dollar. So as the dollar falls here throughout the morning session, that's sent the markets higher. If we go back to the SPY, take a look. You can see it's perfectly inverse, and notice how the markets have stalled now over the last hour or so, 40 50 minutes. And if you go back to the UUP has started to get a little bit of a bounce. So you can see those inverse trading programs continuing to work beautifully here. Now, again, please understand that the dollar is still inverse to the markets. Essentially, the dollar goes up or down, and the markets will go the opposite way off of the dollar. But ultimately, it's only during market hours that that's pertinent. Okay, now having said that, the Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is trading up 117 points. Great rally. Nasdaq is up 15. S&P 500 is up 12. Basically 1% on the Dow, S&P, 0.5% on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is lagging just a little bit today. Now, if we go back to the SPY, let's talk a little bit of action here. Number one, the first thing I have to say to you guys is I called this bounce beautifully. And those in the research center, you guys know that I gave out trade alerts over the last few days. Some of them triggered beautifully on the long side. We were setting up for this. I gave you guys the rundown of why I thought the markets would bounce. The answer to the bounce reasoning was the fact that you had proprietary count system techniques, which will be discussed in this Saturday's webinar. And again, we'll go over those count and cycle techniques in the webinar this Saturday. You can find that at inthemoneystocks.com. In addition, you have options expiration next week, which of course we know the institutions are selling the majority of the calls and puts to the public. The public obviously is bearish right now, therefore they're buying more puts, which are a bear bet on the markets. They're in the money right now. The institutions do not want to have to pay those out. Therefore, what do? They obviously want the market to bounce here into options X so those expire worthless, or at least they make some money on the premium that they again sold those options for. So it's classic. You got to understand the market in all facets. That includes the games played by institutions, and that's what we do here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Now, just a reminder, folks, there's a 7-day free trial of the Research Center of the Intraday Stock Chat. You can take either one or both at the same time, whatever you desire. Again, there's no obligation. You basically, as long as you cancel before that free trial expires, you do not get charged. It's totally a freebie. All right, so again, free is for me. That's what I always say. So I encourage you to try that out. And again, if you tried that out, you'd be in long positions right now on the bounce today. And you have to understand that, folks, and that's where the profits come in. We have a lot of our free trial guys that take the subscription and then make so much money that they basically pay for years of the research center in that 1 week of free trial. So it's a beautiful thing. In any case, guys, the market, beautiful move up. What you can see here is we opened just slightly positive. We had one little fade candle. Since then, it's been mostly green candles up. The markets again moved up right to this yellow line, which was resistance. We talked about that in the intraday stock chat. It pulled back beautifully, then pops here. Second hit of that line probably gets through. Now it's consolidating. This was a buy based on the confirmation signal, and sure enough, most likely my guess is eventually we touch the 200 moving average today. That probably is the extent of the move on the upside. I don't think the markets have that much more upside today, but I do think there might be a little bit more upside tomorrow, being Friday, before options X week, and then early next week I do as well, maybe till Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we might see a little bit more selling again. But this rally is exactly what we called for, folks. We talked about the financials. The financials, we kept on saying we're going to rally over the last couple days. Morgan Stanley's up 60 cents, huge move there. Goldman Sachs is trading up $3.25, huge move there. JPMorgan is having a good day, up 62 cents. And of course, let's not forget Bank of America, which is up about 15 cents on the day. So beautiful rallies across the board here, guys. guys. And again, we called for the rally on the financials. We called for the rally in the markets. We've talked about this. We've given out trades on this, and now we're reaping the rewards. All right, so good job across the board. Now, NASDAQ, again, is a little on the weaker side. That's the one index that is not performing as well, mostly on the back of Google. While the rest of the market is having a great day, Google's actually down a buck 25 here. Apple Computer as well is only flat on the day. So Apple, you can see, very sad move, not a great move considering. Baidu is also down. Chinese internet stocks that had huge runs recently have really taken a hit. Take a look at Baidu. Was trading above $150. It's now approaching the 200 moving average. By the way, at 200 moving averages around 115, that will be a beautiful swing trade should it get there. All right, and again, that will be a beautiful trade. Sina is another Chinese internet stock. Take a look at this thing. Probably headed for the 200 moving average at around 82 bucks. That will be also a great swing trade if it gets to that point. All right, so I'm watching that very closely. In fact, we put it on the Pro Trader watch list on the bullish side as we're watching for a possible entry. If it comes down to that level, it will be a slam dunk entry there if it gets there. All right. Scanning through my watch list, solar stocks are mostly higher, especially Chinese solars are getting a good bounce today. LDK is having a nice little move. You can see these stocks, these Chinese solars have just been beaten up so drastically. 15 bucks to under $7 down here. This is actually a small bullish consolidation pattern. It may pop up, although you have to be extra careful with Chinese stocks these days, considering what's going on with the reverse merger plays. All right, now let's take a look at a couple other stocks. Obviously, Chevron's having a big day today, up $1.50. Again, even with the dollar being slightly higher, you still have commodities performing pretty well today. It seems like there's a resurgence in optimism about the global economy today for a strange little one-day session and maybe stretching into next week as we talked about, and that's pushing stocks like, or the ETFs like the USO positive, even with a stronger dollar. USO is up about 35 cents today. Even the GLD is having a good day, up 70 cents, and the SLV is up 40 cents. So nice move there on the GLD oil, which is gold, which is the GLD oil, and which is the USO obviously, and SLV, which is silver. They're all up, even though the dollar's stronger. And again, I think that's more so to do with the fact that there's just a little bit of optimism out there today. 100-point rally on the Dow. We haven't seen that in quite a while, so people are getting a little frisky about it, in other words. All right. Research in Motion, good move today, up 92 cents. This stock, again, was very close to a trigger. This is one of the alerts I had out. Didn't quite trigger yet. I think it probably triggers next week. But either way, take a look at this. This is a perfect level on Research in Motion. If you want live updates on that alert, you must join the free trial of the Research Center. So I encourage you to come take that again, folks, and we'll continue to keep you guys updated on that trade as well. Scanning through my watch list, seeing if anything else looks good. Right now, again, financials so far are holding their gains. That's probably the best thing for the markets. Transports are having a great day as well, which are very important for the markets, as we know as well. Ag stocks, potash, Monsanto, Mosaic, all having great days, up 3 to 4% plus a piece. Those are great rallies there. And even some other plays out there are having okay days. U.S. Steel up $1, not bad on U.S. Steel, getting a nice bounce. I mean, look at this chart. There's so many ugly charts. To see the market only down 5% or so off the highs, 52-week highs, you really have to wonder about some of these charts out there, like U.S. Steel down from 65 bucks to about 43 right now, and that's after a dollar bounce today. I mean, that's just a huge bounce, a 33% drop until today's bounce since 2011 highs. So keep an eye on these guys. Again, it's all about getting informed. Take the trades. I mean, when we have hedge funds that are members here at In the Money Stocks, you have to get involved because that's how accurate it is. So again, all I say is try out the free trial. Obviously, possibly take the webinar this weekend. That webinar will unveil some proprietary techniques on cycle counts and time counts that will blow your mind. We used them actually to help predict the rally for today, in fact. And again, I talked about that last night in the video as well, although, again, can't divulge the secrets here unless you're taking that webinar. Have a great afternoon. Let's make some more money, guys. The money keeps flowing regardless of the market going up or down. That's the way it rolls here at In the Money Stocks. Take care.